Please be advised, we have anti-retaliation and whistleblower policies for a reason, he wrote. Is he going to blow the whistle?
She should be forced to resign, and Rachel Maddow should be forced to resign. Nobody watches her anyway. I don't know if it's not possible they pay her as much money as I hear.
Nicole Wallace was like, well, hopefully he doesn't eliminate himself. Jeez, Nicole, you really are a psycho person. Wow. ActBlue in serious trouble. Some of the leadership now abandoning ship. The New York Times is reporting on this. So is Raw Story. We'll get the latest, but they tell us that the Democratic fundraising powerhouse, you may know this entity as the one that will smurf, where they'll create donations for politicians at very small amounts, $5, $7, $3.50, $7.75, whatever it is. And each one of those donations will be under the reporting threshold. They'll aggregate those. There'll be thousands and thousands of donations made over the course of a period of time that is a ton of money, all being funneled to politicians. Now, the Republicans are doing it too, I believe, in different domains in different areas, just like we've seen some Republican entities get USAID money, not to the extent that ActBlue has been operating, but we saw this all the way back even with Obama, I believe, in whatever entity that was. Remember, they were, I think, accepting payments without verifying that they were even domestic. So there were foreign payments coming in. He had to pay a fine for that one. But ActBlue on the ropes. The online fundraising organization that powers Democratic candidates has plunged into turmoil with at least 7 senior officials resigning late last month, and a remaining lawyer suggesting he faced internal retaliation. The departures from ActBlue, which helps raise money for Democrats, comes as a group is under investigation from congressional Republicans. They've advanced legislation that some Democrats warn could be used to debilitate what is the party's lead fundraising operation. Now, there's an exodus. Deep concerns about ActBlue and their future. Last week, 2 unions representing the group's workers sent a blistering letter to ActBlue's board of directors that listed the 7 officials who had left. The letter described, quote, an alarming pattern of departures that was eroding our confidence in the org. What prompted so many ActBlue officials to leave is not clear. None of the former officials agreed to be interviewed. Like many orgs, as we undergo some transition heading into this new election cycle, we're focused on ensuring we have a strong team in place, said Megan Hughes. We greatly appreciate the contributions of our incredible team members. Now, according to the letter from the ActBlue unions, which has not been previously reported and was confirmed as authentic by 3 people, the New York Times reports the senior staff departures began on Feb 21. That day, ActBlue's customer service and partnership directors, who had both worked at the group for more than a decade, left. Now, my primary mission is rest, says Alyssa Twami. After 14 years of living and breathing all things ActBlue, it's time for a reset. I'm taking an intentional pause before setting course for my next adventure. All right. The next week, several other senior officials left, including the Associate General Counsel, who is the highest ranking legal officer there, the Assistant Research Director, Human Resource Official, Chief Revenue Officer, Engineer, who spent 16 years building the electronic pipes. That was the tube guy. Left. All these people left. Zain Ahmad, who was the last remaining lawyer, wrote in an internal Slack message that his access to email and other platforms had been cut off, and that other messages he had posted in Slack were deleted, according to a screenshot. Mr. Ahmad is now on leave. Says, please be advised, we have anti-retaliation and whistleblower policies for a reason, he wrote. Is he going to blow the whistle? Mr. Ahmad, tell us what happened. The union letters to the ActBlue board called Ahmad's assertions on the Slack platform unsettling and disturbing. Yikes. Part of a growing pattern of volatility. Mr. Ahmad is not responding to text or calls. The unions asked the board to hire an outside counsel to take investigatory actions to understand the state of the org. This person, Regina Wallace-Jones, did not respond to requests for comments. Ms. Hughes, the spokeswoman, did not comment on his claims. If ActBlue were to become severely diminished, Democrats running for offices at all levels could face setbacks in their efforts to raise cash. Oh no. Candidates for offices ranging from school boards to city councils to the presidency rely on the platform. Republicans have spent years trying to catch up. Yeah, they've got win red. And while there are some alternative platforms, none of the scale or the reach of ActBlue. Democrats for years have credited ActBlue with giving them an edge over Republicans. They raised $16 billion for Democrats since 2004. Now, in recent weeks, congressional Republicans have demanded answers about its security and illegal contributions. The letter got sent to ActBlue, and the letter from unions warned the group was under increasing scrutiny. They responded to Republicans in a 3-page letter sent from the law firm Covington and Burling, which I think they lost their security clearance. No? Was that them? I might be wrong. To provide an update regarding ActBlue security. Some Democrats and Republicans who now control Congress will seek to shut down ActBlue. These Democrats worry that the scrutiny of the platform is just the opening salvo in a broader attack. Ted Cruz, podcast guy from Texas, last month threatened to make another company that owns the key Democratic and progressive tech infrastructure called Bonterra a subject of his subpoenas. But he said they're complying. They're giving us their records. Now, at the same time, relations between ActBlue and some major Democrats have been rocky. Biden and his re-election campaign engaged intense negotiations with them, and the unions are worried about the departure of their legal people. Those of us who work with our legal team day to day don't know what to do now. Yeah, so that's going to be a lot of fun to see how that disassembles levels in real time. Same thing being reported from Raw Story, 13.7 billion, very vital to Democrats and not looking good for them. From what we've seen, appear to have engaged in a ton of corruption. And you can just look at these records up. People on X have done this, gone through and identified donations from people who made thousands and thousands of donations, multiple every day under these weird names that nobody can identify. Now, the reason that the Democrats continue to lose are because many of them are horrible people like Nicole Wallace and Rachel Maddow, part of the Democratic apparatus and infrastructure. Trump said those people, along with ActBlue, should be forced to resign.
Worse than CNN is MSDNC, which is the worst. And the good news is very few people watch them anymore. They have lost such credibility. And frankly, what Nicole Wallace said, I've never been a fan of hers, and she's not very talented. But I'll tell you, what she said the other day about that young man is disgraceful. She should be forced to resign. And Rachel Maddow should be forced to resign. Nobody watches her anyway. I don't know if it's not possible they pay her as much money as I hear.
Yeah, it's
but
crazy.
Certainly she's lost all credibility, both of them. What they said the other day, they should be forced to resign about that young person.
Yeah, DJ, they mocked him, and Nicole Wallace was like, well, hopefully he doesn't eliminate himself. Jeez, Nicole, you really are a psycho person. Wow, didn't understand it was that bad, but it's bad. So here was another effort by the Democrats. ActBlue is going away. Rachel Maddow and Nicole Wallace are mocking 13-year-olds with brain cancer now. And now Democrats in the House of Representatives are making Street Fighter meme videos. And here's what it looks like. Choose your fighter. This is Sulhi Jessica Wu, Bento Box Queen. AOC, youngest woman Latina, elected to the House. Rep Lauren Underwood, youngest black woman. Rep Catherine Clark, House Minority Whip. Chu, first Chinese American. Jasmine Crockett, public defender. Susie Lee, Nevada's third. 2 sprained fingers. Choose your fighter. All right. That's the Democrats, man. So she's Bento Box Queen, mommy of the century, and sleep deprived. So Sulhi Jessica Wu, never even heard of her. She must be new. Here's one, AOC, 14th Congressional District, youngest woman plus Latina to be elected to the House. And she's a Trekkie. She's a Star Trek. Great. So it ruins that. So we also got this woman, Rep Lauren Underwood, youngest black woman elected to Congress. Great. Co-founded the Black Maternal Office and hates balloons. What kind of a person hates balloons? I don't know. I guess Lauren Underwood does. Catherine Clark, who I think hers of most of them look like she was about to go, number 2, kind of right there. I don't really know what. Kind of like a weird, like squat kind of a thing. House Minority Whip, Massachusetts 5th Congressional District, not into hair dye. All right. So she's about to have a bowel movement. Then this woman, I think she's like playing the maracas or something. She's Judy Chu, first Chinese American woman elected to Congress. Wow. Bunch of firsts here on this little montage. California's 28th Congressional District, and she's too sweet. She's an attorney. Oh gosh. And a public defender. Oh gosh. Not a morning person or a night person or an afternoon person from what we've seen. And she's Texas's 30th Congressional District. All right. And then this woman throws some punches. She's from Nevada, president of communities and schools. And she's got 2 sprained fingers. Probably just sprained them there from a couple of those punches or whatever she was trying to do there. And that, my friends, are the Democrats.